Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As the title suggests, we are going to be just discussing how I felt that 2025 Legends Festival went. And as we do that, we're just going to be opening just a bunch of these free tickets that they gave out throughout the anniversary, or sorry, not anniversary, the Legends Festival. We have this 40th anniversary summon, we got the regular tickets, and we have the 100-step summon, which we will start with. I have a bunch of stuff listed out in front of me on a text document, and we'll just run down the list of some of my opinions on it. So, starting at the beginning of Legends Festival, we can go ahead and start the summons. I felt that the hype this time was actually pretty good. It actually was pretty good. There were no leaks, because there was no Ultra Instinct Goku, first of all. Yeah, no leaks, so that actually did maintain the hype. Obviously, we had some predictions. We figured there would be a Synchro Fusion Gogeta, Super Gogeta. Ooh, Broly, okay. We figured there'd be some kind of Gohan. The only thing that we didn't really guess is that there wouldn't be a new Super Broly, but I'm confident that'll be coming out soon. I'm hoping this year. But yeah, the hype was there, definitely, for sure. It definitely felt fresh compared to previous anniversaries, or just celebrations, in my opinion. The only non-hype unit I would say, or at least least hype, it was Janemba as a part 1 headliner pick. Not many people were really confident about that. Okay, I think this one was just completely useless. Yeah, what a summon. Who did I get? Super Vegeta? Okay, yeah. Sure. But yeah, Janemba really was the only quote-unquote unhyped pick, especially... I mean, don't get me wrong, Janemba is a really good unit. It's just... is he hype enough at this point in the game where he deserves to be a festival headliner? I do not think so. Other than that, the hype was there, for sure. Next up, what we can talk about is the meta itself, as well as the individual units. We'll just go by part here. Part 1... a lot of people were upset that there wasn't any 1% sparking, and I definitely agree with that. Or there was a 1% sparking, there was only one in the red Gotenks, the Super Saiyan Gotenks. Why there was only one, I don't know. I definitely feel that we should have had at least 2, one for each banner. The fact that there was only one definitely killed some of them starting momentum, in my opinion. Because a lot of people think that they're slowly just replacing these 1% with supporters. But now we see that's not true. With the newer-ish Diamond Vegeta banner, it gave us a supporter in the Puar, and it also gave us a 1% in Tamagami number 2. So, glad that it looks like they're fixing that. But definitely part 1, the fact they only had 1% and then one supporter for each banner, definitely was weird. But the meta itself was actually pretty good, in my opinion. We had a bunch of units that we saw in PvP. If we just go, I have the character list with me right now. If we just look at it, we have, obviously, the part 1 headliner, Super Gogeta and Janemba. We had Gotenks, who was also pretty good. Pretty good. We had the 40th anniversary units. Oh, I need him. Actually, he's the oldest unit that I don't have 14 stars. I'll definitely take that. Fortunately, no limit break. We also had Android 13, who is still pretty good. Really good, actually. Oh, interesting animation. We also had Namek Goku, Full Power Frieza. Just a bunch of these units from before Festival. We had the Zamasus, Red Zamasu and Ultra Fusion Zamasu. They were still very relevant. Still are, in my opinion. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, of course, he got better in later parts, but he was still there. He was still, you know, top 10 viable, top 15 viable, around there. Yeah, just a bunch of different units. And then we move on to part 2. Again, same issue. No 1% sparking. Or actually, no, not the same issue. It actually got worse. There was no 1% sparking at all. There was just a... don't need him. There was just one supporter per banner with the Super Saiyan 2 Revival Gohan and God Goku and Hit. No 1%, only supporters, so that definitely killed it again. Another LF. I'll take it. Yeah. So that definitely killed off some of the hype for sure. Even more so. I mean, the units themselves were good, but you had to kind of bank on older units as your team. Wow, okay. Looks like we're getting another LF here, but sure. Meta. This part 2 was probably the worst part out of all 3, where we had the worst meta. Rainbow text, interesting. Broly. So, if we think back, we had the main team that you saw nearly every game, well, at least in high ranks, was Ultra Namek Goku. We had the Revival Gohan, and then we had Fusing Super Gogeta. Though that was the main team that we always saw. But yeah, it was nearly every game. Unfortunately, that again, this probably was the worst meta out of all 3 parts. But worst, but you know, it was alright. Oh, I'll take them. What else is there to say about it? I mean, yeah, that was the main team. Definitely worse meta. Definitely worse than part 1. But we had some platinum equipment and somewhat to kind of switch it up. I forgot to mention, there was... I do not need him. For part 1, they released... Wow, okay. I do not need him either. There were a few platinum equipments, Ultra UI, and... who else was it? I think it was Red Namek Goku, right? That got their platinum equipment. Back-to-back weeks. Not a bad summon, actually. I'll screenshot this. That I feel kind of made the meta worse in part 1. Like, first part of part 1 was pretty good, but as soon as Ultra UI released, all you saw was Namek Goku, Ultra UI, and Fusing Super Gogeta. But first part of part 1 was fine. Yeah, and then part 2, Ultra UI, the Gohan, you know. But part 3 was actually a curveball. Because if we take a look back at previous celebrations, part 3 usually created some of the worst metas we have seen ever in this game. We look back to 2024 Legends Fest, it wasn't the worst, for sure, but it was Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and what, like Transforming Vegeta Blue, the 99 combo team. Albeit that was part 2, but still, coming off of the festival, that was probably a really bad team to face. We go back one more year, we had... not even just festival, if we look at this year, 2025 7th anniversary, we had the double Ultra Kaioken team, another very annoying team, and then now we go back to, what was it, 6th anniversary, we had triple fusions, which wasn't horrible, I wouldn't say, but that's pretty much all you saw. Or it was double part 1 fusions with Ultimate Gohan. But UG4 was just really annoying to fight. And then we go back another year, or back another half year to... It was, what, 2024 Legends Festival? That's when we got... 2024 when we got Ultra UI? That was, right? Yeah, Ultra UI, and we already know how bad that meta was. The Ultra UI, Goku and Bardock, and the Pikkon Gogeta team. The timer count team. Oh yeah, I'll definitely take that. Timer count team, that was by far one of, if not the worst meta that we've ever had, because it was incredibly sustaining, incredibly passive. Yeah, and all that. One of the worst metas. We look to go back another half year. We had Goku and Vegeta, or Goku and Frieza during Anniversary, and then we had Ultra Vegeta Blue. And we know how that team went. Ultra Vegeta Blue, Goku and Frieza, and who was the last one? Maybe Pan? I can't recall exactly. But yeah, you guys get the point. Every year we go back, Part 3 celebrations have culminated some of the worst metas that we have seen, but this time it actually isn't the case, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Goku is extremely powerful, but not to the point that he feels really oppressive to fight against. The most oppressive thing about him, I would say, quote-unquote impressive, it's not really, it's probably the, well, his rush counter and his 3-card ceiling. he gets hit 3 times by Striker Blast, and he steals all of your cards except blue cards. That's probably his most oppressive thing, but it's not oppressive in the sense that it's active. Oh, okay. It's actively stopping you from playing the game, even though it is. It's just a temporary buffer to prevent super long combos. And I like that. I like that. That goes into their whole design philosophy thing. They don't want units to continue combos for 99 plus counts, whatever. And I kind of like that. It doesn't feel like broken per se. It just feels really good. You're able to stop the enemy combo, and that's that. And they either end with a blue card, or they just end with like a quick attack or something. But yeah, this part 3 definitely was the healthiest part 3 meta that we have seen. And I think part of that is just because of how good Gohan is. So even if you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if you have Gohan, you're still able to compete pretty well. What else? Yeah, obviously the teams that Super Saiyan 4 Goku is put on makes him incredibly valuable. Full GT, GT with 13, GT with whoever, Namek Goku, whatever. But not oppressive at the same level or same peak as some of these past metas that we've had. By far. Completely. It's like night and day. Oh, we went too far down. There we go. We'll start with this one. Now, if we go... yeah, the meta itself wasn't that bad this festival at all. And I think one major factor that contributed to that is how the devs brought a lot of these older units back into feature boost or just any kind of boost. They've only started doing that more consistently this year, or I guess 2025 now. But they've been bringing back these old units into like featured boost, Z tier boost, S tier boost, yada yada yada. And that kind of helps the team variety a lot, in my opinion. Because usually what happens is the variety in these metas is just non-existent. You're always running into the same exact team every time. You're always running into like the top 3 units every single game in higher ranks. But that actually isn't the case in this one. Because, I mean, we can just take a look at this part 3. They brought back the Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta into Featured Boost. They brought back the Purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku GT into Featured Boost. They put Super 17 in Z tier. They put Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta into S tier. You know, just a bunch of these units that fit this tag that they're buffing. Specifically GT. And they did that for the parts 2 and 1 as well. I can't remember who was on boost or not, but... it did happen. So yeah, bringing those units back into the boost tier definitely helped the team variety. Because if we just take a look at part 3 again, I was top 7, or I was ranked 78 in PvP this season, or on the New Year's season, and some of these teams that I fought included full GT with all Super Saiyan 4s. He fought the 2 most recent Ultra Super Saiyan 4s with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It was both Ultra Super Saiyan 4s with Gohan. It was both Super Saiyan 4s with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It was, at least my team was 13 on GT with Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I was still seeing the parts 2 and 1 team with the Fusing Super Gogeta 13 and Namek Goku, the Fusing Gogeta, Namek Goku, and Revival Gohan. We were seeing pure hybrids. You know, you guys get the point. Just a wide variety of units that we were seeing. I've seen some arguments saying, oh, yeah, you might have seen all these units, but they're all under the same tag. That's a BS argument, in my opinion. That doesn't make sense at all. Like, Hybrid Saiyans is some family, but you don't consider them the same team, right? So yeah, definitely a lot of variety in comparison to a bunch of these other celebrations that we've had. But overall, I think it was pretty good, but the one thing that I think they could have done better on is tag variety. Again, I don't think it's an argument to say that Hybrid Saiyans is Sun Family, but they're still different tags. It's just Sun Family is an umbrella tag. But if we just take a look at all of these premium units for that release, Part 1, we had Fusing Super Gogeta and Janemba. Part 2, we had Revival Gohan and God Goku and Hit. Part 3, we had Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Albeit, they did buff a bunch of different tags, but do you guys see the pattern with most of these characters? They're mostly Sun Family. The only one that wasn't Sun Family was Super Janemba. And I feel like we do need more tag variety. We shouldn't just be getting Sun Family Saiyans, yada yada yada. We should be getting powerful opponent like we got with Janemba, who was the only non-Saiyan premium unit that released during this festival. I don't agree with that. We should be getting more powerful opponent. Again, I know that they usually release a bunch of these powerful opponents during just monthly celebrations with the Ultra Zamasu and Super Baby 2's initial release, and just everything we got. Who else did we get as a powerful opponent in 2025? Full Power Frieza was an anniversary Ultra. Android 13, sure. I get that they release these powerful opponents during monthly celebrations, but I feel Janemba was one of the most unfortunate releases in the fact that he himself was a really good unit. You saw him everywhere in Part 1, on movies, on Powerful Opponent. Just a bunch of these tags that aren't Saiyans. But after Sun Family and Saiyans was the only tag that got buffed for the rest of the festival. Literally 5 of the 6 were Sun Family. It was just unfortunate. Just very unfortunate. And we'll get to the Zenkais and whatever in a second. But yeah, Janemba got screwed. I definitely feel that we should have gotten something that wasn't Saiyans. Again, I know Saiyans are the main forefront of Dragon Ball, but it would be nice to get some variety. Moving on to events. We did have some good events. Definitely. We had the consistent Bonanza. They had an Ultra Bonanza for a week every time a new unit released. So that's parts 1, 2, and 3. We always had an Ultra Bonanza for a week, and that definitely was really good for me, because I am an equipment collector. They also brought back the consistent raids. That reset every week, right? That was just a bunch of free CC, bunch of free erasers, just a bunch of different rewards that are incredibly valuable. And I definitely hope that they continue to do so. But, on the other hand, they only brought back Hoi Poi it was at part 2 or 3, and it was a different style. It wasn't just you use energy and you get Hoi Poi, it was some kind of reward, ranking system. Which I feel that the idea and the intent behind that is fine. It's just the execution was just really, really bad. Really bad. If you guys recall, there were a bunch of cheaters. There were a bunch of cheaters that you utilize mods and whatnot to just, farm Hoi Poi as much as possible. And they spent 1 or 2 weeks after the end of the actual event. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were on break or something. They were finding a way to, catch all these cheaters so they wouldn't get rewards, which is a good thing, don't get me wrong. But the fact that they're there in the first place kind of just made the event kind of for me and a lot of other people. I'd say the majority. The point that, if this was going to happen, then why didn't they just have the original Hoi Poi format? Which I definitely feel was better, because that means more people get the same amount of rewards compared to just a ranking system for titles and PvP messages and whatnot. Because that was the main incentive. You got a special title and PvP message and some extra rewards and CC for ranking high. But a lot of these cheaters just made it really annoying to just wait for these rewards for 1-2 weeks. And when they finally did when they finally did release the rewards, it was just some random day. It wasn't even on reset. So it was just oh, we finally got them. There was no excitement behind it, I don't think. The hype definitely died down because of that. And I've ranked around 8,000, 7,000 on that Hoi Poi ranking. But that means there were about 700 cheaters ahead of me that got banned for that. And it's bad. The situation is bad when you look at the leaderboard for the event and everyone in the top 15 was a cheater. it was very obvious to see. If you look at their their profile cards, their teams were like Heroes and Extremes and whatnot, or just some BS teams. So it was pretty obvious. So yeah, the cheaters and the modders definitely killed the hype on that one. Moving on, we kind of a niche pick, but if you guys recall, we had the Operation Get characters for easy. I think it was like Operation Get characters, where you guys just do like a daily thing, and they give you tickets to get free Z power for those previous free-to-play characters. And that was a very good way to get Zenny. Probably the best way to get Zenny. Even better than Happy Weekend Zenny stage. Definitely was better. The rates were better. They also brought back Tri Arena, which is always a great, pleasant experience. You know, just playing with some old units that you wouldn't usually see in PvP. I definitely enjoyed that. Got the free 400cc from that. And of course, the best event of the game every year, the New Year's Raid. A bunch of rewards. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to grind everything this time, but I still got a hefty amount of erasers and Zenny and LFZ power. 600 LFZ power on top of 200 of each element. Always great. Yeah, that was the best event. You could get thousands of erasers, exchange medals, whatnot. And they brought back one of the surprises for this celebration was that they brought back the anniversary exclusive Shenron, where you guys get where you guys scan your friend codes and you get the Dragon Balls, and you're able to summon them in like in the video or VR or whatever you call it, AR, I forgot. But yeah, they brought that back. We got free CC for that. We got a lot of CC for that. A bunch of different rewards for that. So that was great, in my opinion. But as an overlapping umbrella, it definitely felt, as it has these past few celebrations, all of these events just felt recycled. In the sense that we've already had these events, and they're just bringing it back because they worked, and they gave a bunch of rewards, which I do find, but the sentiment for a lot of people is that PvP or PvE is just really boring in this game, especially the PvP. I get that the PvP is the main focus, but PvE being boring kind of just kills it. And the fact that all these events were essentially just recycled versions of older events kind of killed the momentum in that aspect. They did try to change things up with the Hoi Poi, but as we saw, it didn't really work out because of external factors. There was no bingo until the Daima festival that we are currently going through. So I don't really care. I don't really consider the after party to be part of Anniversary or Legends Festival. But yeah. So overall, good events, but recycled is probably the main summary of that. Okay, we got a copy of that Gohan that we need. Okay. In terms of free stuff, we actually got a lot of CC. It does not matter what people say. They say they're not giving out free CC or whatever. We did get a lot of free CC through the gift box. We got them through the raid. We got them through the Monday boxes. We got them through gift box. We got a lot of rewards through events and whatnot. What is it called? The distribution of CC between multiple events was a little weird. I'll give them that. But if we actually take a look at the total amount of CC that released in December specifically, I'll put a picture of it from someone on Twitter. What was his username? Shout out to It's Fed. That's his username. I'll put it out right now. On the screen here, we got over 30,000 CC. 30,000 free CC. I'll say that the list is slightly wrong in that because of the Tournament of Power revamp, we didn't get 3750 CC. We got, I'd say, around 2,000. But even so, that's only like a 1750 difference. So that's not that big of a deal. And that still puts us above 30,000 CC. So there was that. Yeah, so 30,000 free CC, that's without any sales or anything. That's including promo code, exchange shop, PvP, login bonus, events, co-op, you know, stuff like that. So that was good. Just a bunch of CC, so the numbers are there, the numbers don't lie. We did get a bunch of free CC. And that was probably one of the highlights of this celebration. They just gave a lot of free rewards. But yeah, pretty good. Moving on, next topic we're going to be discussing is Zenkais and equipment. One of the biggest complaints that we've had this past year or so, even more so than a year, is that not even just these celebrations, but just regular months, we haven't really had a ton of Zenkais. Especially Legends Limited Zenkais. But they actually got better with this. We had the Zenkais for Super Vegeta. We had the Zenkai for Super Baby 2. We actually got 2 Legends Limited Zenkais, and anything that wasn't a Zenkai either got a unique equipment or a platinum equipment. Namely Ultra UI. Metal Cooler got the buff. Evolution Vegeta got his unique, and Red Name Goku got his platinum equip. Come on. So yeah, in total we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different units that got buffed. If I'm counting correctly, if I recall correctly, that got buffed over the course of this celebration. In terms of how good they were, that's a different story. Ultra UI was incredibly broken. Well, not broken, just really good. Super Vegeta got the respect that he deserved. Super Baby 2 was just it wasn't good at all. 200% damage guard, let's go. Or 160%, I can't remember. Either way, it was pretty bad. Metal Cooler's buff wasn't enough. Evolution Vegeta with his 10% damage guard, whatever. Red Name Goku was actually pretty good for being the first ever Ultra in the game. Free-to-play Ultra. It was pretty good. So, 6 different units that got buffed. I think they actually did better than Anniversary. Because I believe Anniversary, we only had a few 1% sparking Zenkais and 1, if not none, Legends Limited Zenkais. So yeah, that was definitely a highlight. They definitely got better, and I hope they continue this trend of getting more and more of these LF Zenkais pumped out. We already got one this year, but it was for a special occasion with the red Damagoku Zenkai. So I'm not going to really factor that in. But yeah, a bunch of these units got buffed. Whether they're good or not, what is a different story. But we're on the right track here. One of the biggest topics to discuss would be the off weeks. That has been a big complaint for a lot of these celebrations recently, with the 7th anniversary, with the 2024 Legends Festival, with, you know, just a bunch of these celebrations, is that the off weeks have been terrible. Lack of Zenkais, lack of equipment, lack of events. Icarus, okay. But they actually did better this time. If you guys do recall, we did get red, if you guys don't know what off weeks are, it's just like the weeks between these major releases, like this week after Super Gogeta release, the week after Gohan release, stuff like that. So yeah, it was better. If you guys do recall, we got the Ultra, I believe the Ultra, one of the Ultras got their plat the first week after Fest happened, and then the week after that, one of the other Ultras got it. I can't recall if it was Ultra UI first or if it was Red Namek Goku first. I believe it was Red Namek Goku first, and then the week after it was Ultra UI. So that was 3 weeks of content. And Super Vegeta also got a Zenkai on an off week, so that was also helpful too. Definitely made this festival feel a lot more consistent than previous celebrations have been. Super Vegeta. Okay, speaking of. But yeah. Again, but one of the main things, though, you can't really just slap a equipment or a Zenkai into an off week and call that, oh, that's the majority of the content that you're getting this week. We should be getting new events and whatnot. And so I will criticize in that aspect. We do need more events on these off weeks rather than just cramming everything for the quote-unquote hype into the week 1 of each part. But it was definitely better. It definitely felt better. No complaints about that in that aspect. One of the many parts to this would be sales. So if you're not a money spending player, then this doesn't really pertain to you, but a lot of these sales that we had were really good. We had the mini step up, I wish they brought like twice. It was like $7.99 for one part and $2 or $3.99 for one part another, which gave you like 1500cc or something like that. That was definitely good. They gave out like the $2.99 bot for 1000cc. Really good. Twice. Although they didn't announce it one time, which was a little weird. What else? They, of course, the happy bags, some of the best value you'll ever get from spending money if you're a heavy spender. Or even just a light spender, but you were willing to spend that amount of money. And this year they brought Ultra Happy Bags, which gave you a guaranteed copy of any Ultra if you went through all the steps. Or even if you got lucky and got an Ultra on one of the first 3 steps. Either one. This is the first time they've given out like a free Ultra in that way. Quote unquote free Ultra. The Legends Limited tickets were good. Happy Bags are always insanely valuable. But on the other hand, they had some pretty scummy sales. We had those, and a lot of them were just cosmetics too. Like those art sleeves, the backgrounds. You guys remember the the backgrounds and the art sleeves for these old Ultras, like Ultra Blue Janemba and Super Gogeta? Those are like $80 for like those cosmetics on top of what, like 2800cc. If you guys actually did the CC to monetary value ratio, those were one of the poorest valued packs you'd ever get. Essentially, out of the $80, they're saying that $50 of that was for the cosmetics, which is like, what are we doing? So obviously, I didn't buy that. Not worth it at all. Even if I do like to collect $80 for cosmetics and a meager amount of CC, is not worth it at all. At all. They had the $24 ones, which gave more card sleeves. It wasn't, you know. So it was like balanced. There were good sales and bad sales. Yeah, it was just okay. I guess 50-50. Final topic is just miscellaneous, just a bunch of random stuff that we can talk about. One thing, they'd actually finally release new summon animations. We had the Gohan and Icarus one, which to this day I'm not really sure what that guarantees. I don't know if it's Sparking guaranteed or if it's a featured. It's definitely not featured. It's given me supporters, it's given me the new unit, it's given me nothing. So I'm not really sure what it means. But new animations, oh cool, I guess. And we also got one actual featured, okay. We actually got an actual summon animation in the Super Gogeta versus Jiren. That is on the same tier as Cell Max animation, which I still haven't gotten. Ooh, instant transmission. But yeah, that was a really good animation. That's just something to note. They actually had development time to make that for once, finally. In terms of PvP, they still need to fix the Tournament of Power map. It has been half a year, right? When did this Tournament of Power map release? Wasn't it during Anniversary? I think it was. No, it was when LF Kefla released, because it's Tournament of Power, right? So it's been like half a year and they still haven't fixed that. Which makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, we'll just skip it. Ooh, I'll take that. Anyone I can use. But yeah, they need to fix that. The frame lag is just insane on that. And one of the major things that people had complaints about, on to the next topic, we'll skip. Do not need him. One of the main things was the fact that it felt like the development team was just continuously punishing veteran players. I'm sure you guys remember. They got rid of Title Boost. Their reasoning for that was so they could it didn't work well with one of the mechanics or features that they were releasing soon. I'm not really sure what mechanic that would be, but that kind of feels like BS to me. Like, how does the Title Boost... Because, like, people like myself, I've been playing since, like, between first and second anniversary. I had a bunch of boosts. And they first of all stopped releasing any kind of bonus to stats a good while ago. You know, they haven't put any additional, like, strike attack, blast attack buffs of Icarus there. They haven't had those buffs in a while, so just doing this out of the blue for no reason just kind of felt really weird. Really weird. Rainbow text, okay. Yeah, that was a little strange. And then the supporter system. Is mainly the free-to-play supporters. We got the... So far, we've had the Scouter, and we got this festival, we got the Hoi Poi capsules, I believe. Yeah, the Hoi Poi capsules. But they announced that they would limit the amount of times you could reset the shop, the Chrono Crystal shop. I do not need it. Before this update, you could just recycle, use your rare medals as many times as you wanted. And you'd just be able to get it usually first day, if you had enough rare medals. If you had, yeah. And I maxed out the the Scouter that way. But they said, I can't remember what their reasoning was. It was like, because veteran players have more resources, we want tag droids, okay. Because the veteran players have more resources, we're going to be balancing it so that the free-to-play or the newer players will have the same opportunity, which is complete horseshit. Like, obviously, veteran players are going to have more resources because we've been playing longer, so we have accumulated these resources more. It's the same thing with Z levels. It's the same thing with Chrono Crystals. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's the same thing with just summoning in general. The older players are going to have more stars on these older units, so, like, no duh. Yeah, that reasoning just made no sense to me whatsoever. So, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. So that felt a little weird. Just felt kind of lame on their part. And the last thing is just the supporter system in general. Now, I am fully supportive of supporters and the idea and concept behind them. The thing I have an issue with is how you obtain them. I don't mind summoning for them, but the fact that you need 110 copies of a supporter to max it out, that just feels greedy. It's just like the Chrono Crystal sink. Right? And it's not like you can get multiple supporters in one copy, right? You need... Each summon gives you one supporter per copy. Oh, he's maxed. Cool. Yeah. Each supporter needs one copy, and it goes up to level 99, and you need 110 copies total. That just makes sense to me. And then, if we just take a look at the Chrono Crystal shop, where you can buy these supporter copies, you need 100 CC for one copy. Are we serious? When the main buff for the supporter comes out at level 30, you're telling me we need to spend 3,000 CC to get that? No. It makes no sense. It just feels really greedy on the development team part. Like, why does this cost so much money to fully max out? Okay, we're done with these tickets. We can move on to Sparkling Lily. This feels weird. Feels lame as hell. And I really wish they make them either cheaper or just find a better way in general to get them out. Like, seriously, this is probably one of the biggest complaints that people have had for the supporter system. I really like the supporter system, but the fact that you spend so much money for it, or just CC in general for it, when you could just be, alternatively, spending the CC for the new unit. It doesn't make sense to me. So yeah. And that's pretty much it for the Legends Festival review. Just to summarize, hype was there. Definitely better than other festivals or celebrations because there were no really leaks this time. In terms of the meta, great meta. Probably one of the best Part 3, if not the best Part 3 meta that we've ever seen in the entire history of this game. 2 thumbs up for me from that. Bringing the units back into featured boost definitely helped that. I 100% support that. That is a great change that they've made. Overall, we should be getting more than just Saiyans because Janemba got screwed over because of that fact. There were too many Saiyans, too many Summon family. So, and Janemba definitely would have aged a lot better. Would age right now a lot better if there were more variety in tags outside of just Saiyans. Events. Very good events. They brought back a lot of these good events, but it felt really recycled. As it usually does when they bring back these same events with the raid, which is good, don't get me wrong, and stuff like that. Free rewards. Bunch of rewards. We got 30,000-ish CC this festival in December alone. That's not including part 1, where in the November part, the first 10 days. And the last few bits of the festival in January. So yeah, bunch of CC, bunch of rewards. Great stuff. Zenkais, they got better on this, and unique equipment and regular equipment too. They definitely got better on this aspect. We got a bunch more. We got 2 Legends Limited Zenkais, as well as 2 Ultra Platinum equipments, as well as some unique equipments for Legends Limited units. Sales, some were good, some were bad. Kind of 50-50 on that. Not really much else to say. And just in general, we got new summon animations. They still need to fix the PvP tournament and power map. It feels like they're punishing veteran players, and they need to fix the way we obtain supports. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can go ahead and watch the rest of this summons, but that is enough talk out of me. Let me know what you guys thought about this Legends Festival, and how would you rate it? I personally rate it around a 7 or 8 out of 10. You guys let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
けるわけにはいかないんだ。